Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how you can develop inside a Docker container using Visual Studio Code. The objective is to simplify development by using the dev container extension. Okay. The first thing we're going to be doing is creating a pretty simple Docker file and then building a Docker image. And finally, we're going to be running a Docker container. Once we have this Docker container, we're going to check if we have this extension installed. This one, dev container, we're going to be installing this in a moment. Why? Because this extension has an option that it's called attached to a running container. What does this mean? Here you can see attached to a running container. What's special about this? Well, let me show you. Here on your local OS, you will have Visual Studio Code, okay? And on the right, you can see a Docker container that has a base OS, for example, any Linux distribution. Inside this Linux distribution, Visual Studio Code, throughout this extension and this option, is going to install something called VSCode Server. VSCode Server is a backend service that allows you to communicate with your Visual Studio Code on your local. Okay. And then you can use your extension as if you were working locally. All right. It says here that it enables communication between your local VS Code and the container, allowing you to use your extension, tools, and settings directly within the container. Okay, here I have very simple Docker file from Python. I'm defining my working directory, and I'm copying requirements.txt. Requirements.txt contains different libraries we normally use in data science. For example, pandas, scikit-learn, pyodbc. You can have any library you want, okay? And also we're installing these libraries. And finally, I'm defining bash as my command. All right, I'm going to build the image as we said before. Docker build demo image, for example, from this context. Okay. And then I'm going to create a Docker container from the image. Docker run. I'm going to name it as demo container, for example, from demo image. And I'm going to define a bash command. Okay, now we have our Docker container running. Let's see. There you go. Okay, now let's check for the extension, which is this one. Please install it. And once you have this installed, press F1 or go to your command palette and type dev container and select attach to running container. When you select this option, you will see a list of all the containers you have running, but you have to choose the container you're working on. For example, in my case is demo container, okay? A new window will be open. And what's happening now is that Visual Studio Code is installing VSCode server in the container, okay? It might take a few minutes. Let's see. Okay, as you can see here on the left side, you can see the name of the container. That means that we're in. Okay, let's go to the extensions panel. And you will see three options here. Local, that means the extension that you have on your Visual Studio Code. And you have a second option that means the extensions you have in your container. which are 0. Okay, no extension are installed here, but you will see here this icon, this little cloud. You press here and you can select all the extension you have locally. Okay, for example, Jupyter, Python, SQLite. I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to press OK just to install them in my container. Okay. Let's wait a little bit. Okay. Now I have all the extension installed. Let me go back to my Explorer. All right. Let me minimize the terminal. And then I'm going to open a UC Jupyter Notebook, for example. Now I can work with Jupyter Notebooks in my Docker container. Okay, I'm going to save it as demo, for example. And I'm going to import one of the libraries we install in the container in the requirements.txt. For example, import Zeoborn as NC. Let's see, it's working fine. Okay, great. And let me create a pandas data frame. What data set? Car crashes, for example, and we'll see the content. Now, as you can see, guys, it is working. I'm using Jupyter Notebook inside a Docker container. Okay. Now let's create, for example, a Python file. I'm going to save it as demo2. And let me check if this works in interactive mode. Yeah, yes. Let's import, for example, NumPy. Okay. And there we go, guys. Connecting to kernel. Nice, nice, it's working. Okay. This is a pretty simple way you can work inside a container with Visual Studio Code and all your extension, which is pretty simple. Okay, and now I'm going to create, for example, a 2x2 matrix just to check if this works. 2 and 3 and 4 and 6. And then I'm going to calculate its inverse. For example, inverse is equal to p dot line out dot inverse from A. Okay, and then as you know, guys, the identity matrix is A multiplied by its inverse. Singular matrix. Oh, sure, because this one is multiple of this, so let me change to 5. There we go. Perfect, guys. It is working. Now, this is really helpful when working with different team members. So please let me know if you have any issue. Before that, let me show you how you can disconnect from this. Press F1 and close remote connection. This will take you out of the container. Let's see. And there we go. But the container is still running. Let's check. Let's check. Docker. Yes, it is still running. If you want to attach again, you have to repeat the same step. And if you want to stop or delete your container, you have to do it manually. But I hope you enjoy, guys. Please let me know if you have any comments, and let's see in another video.